What's going on, y'all? Thank y'all so much for being here. So I just want to let you guys know that everything that we are seeing right now in the headlines, it's real, obviously.
World War III! 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 World War III!
We might be heading into World War III, but who knows? Only God knows. But it's looking pretty bad right now. But this podcast is like my opinion about what's really going on, and it's all about the stock market, and it's all about people making big bank. So I'm gonna break this video down. Hopefully it's not gonna be too long or too dreadful, so let's get into it.
Less than an hour from now, President Trump expected to meet with his national security team inside of the White House. That as we learn of new warnings from U.S. sources to Fox of an imminent Iranian strike on a U.S. base in Qatar. In fact, it was the very same base that President Trump spoke at during his trip to the Middle East. Now, this is where the United States has its largest airbase in the Middle East, and Qatar has closed its airspace until further notice. You can look at the flight radar. There are literally no flights above Qatar right now. And the State Department is instructing all Americans to shelter in place. We are learning more about America's historic strike against Iran in the meantime. And new details are emerging about this weekend, how the U.S. carried out a highly precise airstrike mission that successfully took out 3 of Iran's most important nuclear sites. You've heard them by name: Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. And now President Trump is calling for peace.
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace.
JK, LOL.
Every time a missile is fired, just think about it, it's profit. Every troop deployed, that's another investor smiling behind the curtain. So America versus Iran is not just a fight on the ground, it's a payday for corporations.
Look, I got a lot of shit to do.
You name me one thing you have to do that's more important than the corporate takeover of our democracy.
I gotta take a shit.
So let me tell you who's really cashing out. Boeing. Every time a drone gets shot down or a new fighter jet is ordered, Boeing stock shoots up. Raytheon Technologies, so we're talking missiles, air defense systems, surveillance. These war toys are in high demand right now.
Somebody say make money, money, make money, money, money.
Lockheed Martin, so the F-35 jets, like the very infamous jets that people assume is indestructible, too quick to be shot down. But Iran is the first country to shoot one of these bad boys down, and that's a big deal.
Iran may have just rewritten modern military history by becoming the first country to shoot down 5 American F-35 stealth jets. And it didn't do it alone. Reports claim Iran used advanced air defense systems, allegedly upgraded with help from Pakistan, China, and Russia. Together, they managed to bring down the most advanced fighter jets the U.S. has ever built.
Northrop Grumman. So we're talking about satellites, stealth bombers in which America used to shoot their bunker busters to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities.
Yeah, some people may say, well, wait a minute, the B-2 is a stealth bomber. It goes in where you have very heavy air defenses, where enemy radars would be able to see it. And so why is it being used in Iran when we know that the Israelis have taken down all of the air defense systems? That's because this MOP, this hardened penetrator that can go up to 200 feet below the ground, can only be carried by the B-2. So the B-52 has carried it before, but the weapon system itself is only certified to fly on the B-2. So this is why the B-2s had to go in to use these bunker-busting bombs. So the whole idea is that of the 30,000 pounds, only 5,000 pounds are explosives. Most of it is a very hardened case because it has to punch through rock and dirt, and it has to push all that force down many layers. It actually has a fuse that can sense going through various layers. And so the idea here is that they've got to collapse those big, massive halls that we've actually seen pictures with because the IAEA has been in there. Collapse these halls and collapse dirt on top of these centrifuges that were enriching uranium to a weapons quality capability. So it's a bomb that was developed originally. Most of the impetus was for the North Korean threat, because remember that the North Koreans also have very deeply buried capabilities in their nuclear sites. And so the U.S. said, well, we think that if we need to use this, that North Korea may be the first place we need to use it. We don't want the Kim regime to be able to continue to develop more nuclear weapons. But then they knew that Fordo was there as well. So really the only two places in the world where this weapon is appropriate and where the U.S. or any other country would need to use a hardened penetrator would be in North Korea or Iran.
You know, folks, it's incredible. We bombed nothing but dirt, just dirt, all that money spent, and for what? Israel has us running around throwing cash at the sand. Meanwhile, Iran, no bombs, just a lot of talk. It's a total disaster. We're making deals and spending money on absolutely nothing. Believe me, it's time to put America first and stop wasting our resources on this nonsense. We're going to win so much you won't believe it.
So next section is about crypto and how crypto isn't innocent.
Guilty, 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 guilty!
Pretty much anytime there is uncertainty, whenever that uncertainty hits, people oftentimes run to crypto like it's some type of lifeboat. You know, like right now, the money is flowing there. It's flowing into Bitcoin, which is digital gold seen as a hedge against world instability. We have Ethereum, not just a coin, but a whole system of contracts, apps, and exchanges. Next, we have XRP, Solana, and Chainlink. Surprisingly, Monero. So it's a privacy coin, that's what people call it, and it's pretty much gaining a lot of traction quietly because people don't want their war profits tracked.
No faces, no names.
So this is the new war economy, digital and decentralized, and a lot of people feel that this world war, if it pops off, is going to put an end to the currency that we know today, which we already know it's already depleted. The value of the dollar is basura. So now let's talk about what just happened. So today, as we speak, what is today, by the way? Today is the 23rd. Iran launched a strike on military bases in the Middle East.
And again, for anyone just joining us, we are looking at video from just moments ago of an Iranian missile attack on a U.S. airbase in Qatar. The Qataris have said they've intercepted that attack, but we are, of course, waiting to see and hear of any damage there. This is the largest U.S. airbase in all of the Middle East and has played a critical role in so many different conflicts, including Iraq, Afghanistan, strikes on Syria, and so forth. We are now, again, waiting to see the extent of the damage there, if any, but Qatar has said that they have managed to intercept a lot of that attack, if not all of it. And this could still play a critical role in the region.
So these bases house American and allied troops. Headlines are wilding out right now. They're pushing out this narrative that Iran's aggression must be stopped, but it's the aggression that they caused. You feel me?
Guilty, 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 guilty!
But yeah, doesn't that sound familiar? Like, if y'all been up to tune with all the wars that America fought, this is pretty much like an Iraq 2.0. Back then, it was weapons of mass destruction, but now it's a nuclear threat from Iran. But I just want to say, let's be real. There is no concrete evidence that Iran has nukes. For instance, the IAEA, which is the International Atomic Energy Agency, literally said multiple times that Iran has not enriched uranium to weapon-grade levels. Next, the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, which is the JCPOA, had Iran under strict surveillance until Trump pulled out.
Mom, I'm going to do it, Mom. Can't do it.
And after Trump pulled out of that, they killed one of their war leaders, you know, with that missile attack that, you know, Trump did when he was president the first time. And yeah, that wasn't nice. So if they're not making nukes, what's this really about?
Money, money, money.
This is about regime change. It's about oil. It's about power. They want to install another freaking puppet in Iran, the same way they did in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Syria, and so many other countries in the Middle East that they just abused and manipulated and literally, again, put their own puppets in there to fulfill their agenda. So some may ask, why? because the end goal is simple. They want full absolute control of the Middle East. And once Iran falls, guess who's going to be on the top of the food chain? Yes, Israel. They're going to control all of the Middle East. Hello, Israel! Iran isn't innocent either. Like, let's keep it a buck. Iran has honestly killed a lot of people. So yeah, they backed militias that killed Sunni Muslims in Yemen, Syria, and Iraq by the millions. They spread a lot of Shia extremism under the name of resistance. They played a lot of dirty games with proxy wars, just like the West, you know what I'm saying? But in this situation, they're not the aggressors. They're literally being cornered, provoked, and baited into war for someone else's agenda. Some may ask, what is this agenda? You know, what are you rambling about? It's about the freaking prophecy that they want to fulfill. They want to bring Armageddon. They want the third temple. They want to bring the false messiah. Like, for real, this ain't just politics or oil. This is prophecy manipulation. Israel's far-right elite believe they're fulfilling end times prophecy. They really want the third temple rebuilt in Jerusalem, the arrival of their false messiah who will claim to be God, a false peace that will bring the world into Armageddon.